In the last video, I was explaining a little bit about compost and what my thoughts were. And this is a picture of what our compost bin looks like at where I work. This is the working one, and this is the completed pile, ready to be sifted. And over here is what I want to talk about today, is the worm bin. This is known as vermiculture, and this is where we grow yards and yards of worm castings. This is a screen that we use to screen out the large chunks of stuff that doesn't get eaten. So we put these pieces of plywood over the top of the bins. There's 3 bins here, and it serves several purposes, but the main 2 functions of the plywood being over the top is to keep the mice and rats out. And the other thing is that worms are sensitive to light, and so it keeps it dark. There's other reasons we do that, but those are the 2 main reasons. Now, here at the school, there's several kitchens in the dorm rooms, and the kitchens save their table scraps. No meat, just vegetables and eggshells and coffee grounds. And we put these kitchen scraps about once a week. I put this much in here, and once I get that, I'll dump the rest of these in here. And then once I get them all dumped in, we'll cover them with compost, a small layer of compost. You can see me adding. This is fresh. We never put food that's more than 10 days old in here, because usually if it's older than that, there's too much bacteria in it. So we'll cover that with the compost. Just a small layer of compost. And that's mostly to hide it from the rodents. And as soon as I'm done putting the compost down, I will moisten it, because the worms, they need to have moist soil. These boxes don't have any bottoms in them. On top of the compost, I'll put a small layer of straw, and that helps hold the moisture. So I only have to water it maybe once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks. It's the same pile of straw that I use on the compost to add the carbon to the compost. The biggest difference between composting and vermiculture. Vermiculture, the animals, the worms, eat the organic matter, and basically it's worm manure when we say worm castings. And the compost is a bacterial action that's from the bacteria that are in the soil, breaks down the cellulite matter that's in the vegetable, or the organic matter, and turns it into compost. Vermiculture, with vermiculture, the worms eat the vegetable matter. They actually digest it. Where, like I said, with the composting, it's a bacterial action, and the bacteria are the ones that they break down the cell wall, the cellulose. And here you see me adding water. I also add water to the compost, because if the bacteria dries out, then it doesn't work. It goes dormant. And of course, everybody knows, I think, that worms need moisture. They're wet and slimy when you pick them up. In the next couple of videos, I'll show you some worms. We'll dig them up. It's amazing how many worms are in these little bins. I'm hoping anyway, that I'll get much better at it as I move along. It's taken me a better part of a week to edit and splice this thing together, so it made a little bit of sense. I hope it's helpful. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope as I move along in this process that I'll like I say in the last, I think I said it in the last video, I want to actually write some script out, and so I don't ramble so much, so I can stay focused on a topic, and actually we can start talking about plants and gardening in general. This I think I mentioned it in the first video that to me as an organic gardener, um, and I've been an organic gardener for more than 30 years. Um, to me, the knowledge of how to make compost and how to raise worms, as well as other animals. I use things like rabbit manure and chicken manure and horse manure and all the different manures. How to use those and use them properly when raising plants, especially if it's food products that you're raising. Um, that's key to being a good gardener. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to start with the compost and the vermiculture. And I'll expound on it a little more as I go. So thank you again for watching, and I've always heard that they always tell you to push the button to like the videos if you like them. If not, then don't like them, I guess. And the more likes I get, the better it is. So we'll see what happens. Thanks.